Okay, so when you think deepfakes, your mind probably goes to those funny or kind of weird celebrity face swaps, right? Well, it's time to look past that. We've moved into a totally new era of synthetic media, and frankly, it poses a fundamental threat to our shared sense of reality. Today, we're doing a deep dive into how this technology is eroding the very foundations of truth.
The scariest part about deepfakes isn't even the fake content itself. It's the doubt it creates about everything else. This is a concept that experts call the liar's dividend. It's this bizarre, upside-down world where the mere existence of fakes allows bad actors to dismiss real evidence as a forgery. It's a brand new weapon in the disinformation arsenal.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We're not just talking about somebody making a misleading video. We're talking about the weaponization of doubt itself. I mean, think about it. If any authentic video or audio clip can be plausibly denied, what happens to evidence in a courtroom? What happens to journalism? It completely undermines the very idea of proof.
So, how did we get to this point? In this first section, we're going to break down how we arrived at this full-blown reality crisis, a point in history where seeing, quite literally, is no longer believing. Now, this isn't just some abstract philosophical problem. The reality crisis is creating very real, very tangible harm. We're talking about everything from severe psychological trauma all the way to a full-blown financial crisis in the making. Just take a look at this table from a European Parliament report. It lays out the risks pretty starkly. You see these three columns: psychological, financial, and societal harm. But what's absolutely crucial to understand is that these aren't separate issues. They're deeply interconnected, creating a domino effect that can threaten our most stable institutions. And this visual really drives that point home. A single malicious act, say creating non-consensual fake pornography of a public figure, doesn't just damage that one person. That harm cascades outwards. It can damage their employer's credibility, and at a societal level, it can be used to intimidate people and threaten things like freedom of the press. It's a ripple effect that touches every layer of society. So let's be perfectly clear. This is not some distant threat that only affects famous people. This is a clear and present danger to our financial system. Criminals are already using this technology to pull off incredibly sophisticated heists. And believe me, the stakes are getting higher every single day. So here's a breakdown of a real-life heist. An attacker uses AI voice cloning tech to create a perfect digital replica of a CEO's voice. They then call a senior executive at the company, sounding exactly like the boss, and demand an urgent wire transfer. And because the voice sounded completely authentic, the executive transferred over £243,000. This is chilling because it bypasses all traditional cybersecurity. It's not hacking a computer, it's hacking a human's trust. Okay, so the threat is real, and it's growing. The big question is, what is anyone doing about it? In this next section, we're going to navigate the incredibly complex and often controversial world of deepfake regulation. Instead of looking for a single one-size-fits-all solution, the EU has developed this really interesting five-pronged approach. The idea is to create a comprehensive framework that targets every single stage of a deepfake's life, from the moment it's created to the moment it's viewed. And these are the 5 dimensions. You've got the technology itself, the AI systems, then the creation, meaning the people who actually make this stuff, then circulation, which is all about holding online platforms accountable. Next, the target, strengthening support for victims. And finally, the audience. That's us, promoting critical thinking. It's an attempt to build resilience at every possible weak point. But this all boils down to one central dilemma, doesn't it? This is a classic dual-use technology. It has the potential for incredible artistic expression and also for immense harm. So how on earth do you write laws that stop the bad stuff without accidentally killing off the innovation? Right now, there are 2 competing philosophies shaping the global debate. In the US, there's a push for a rights-based approach, like the proposed No Fakes Act. The idea is simple: ban the most harmful applications, like non-consensual pornographic deepfakes. It's direct, but the risk is that it might stifle creative uses. Then you have the EU, which is leaning towards a transparency-based approach with its AI Act. Their philosophy is to mandate clear labeling for all synthetic media. The pro here is it preserves free expression, but the con is pretty obvious. Malicious actors are just going to ignore the labeling rules. So for our final section, let's zoom out and explore some of the bigger, more philosophical questions that this technology is forcing all of us to confront. Questions about art, identity, and the very nature of truth itself. This question really gets to the heart of it, and it almost reminds me of that ancient philosophical paradox, the ship of Theseus. If you replace every plank of a ship, is it still the same ship? Well, if a piece of art is made entirely by an AI, is it less valuable than one made by a human? If we replace every part of the creative process with AI, at what point does it stop being human art?
So look, here's the bottom line. While the technology to detect deepfakes is in this constant cat-and-mouse game with the technology to create them, the much bigger battle is about something else entirely. Our collective trust in audiovisual evidence has been fundamentally compromised. The new challenge isn't just detecting fakes, it's about how we can possibly rebuild that trust.
And that brings us full circle, right back to the liar's dividend. This isn't just a threat to our perception of reality. It's an existential threat to the concept of truth itself. When you start to believe that what you see isn't real, you can eventually get to a place where even the actual truth isn't believed anymore. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. In a world where our own eyes and ears can be so easily fooled, what is the future of truth? Finding an answer will require a massive shift in how we all consume information, and maybe a new understanding of what it means to be human in the age of AI.